On a cold, moonless night in a small village, Isabella lay awake in her bed. Through the cracks of her wooden door, she noticed a faint golden light flickering from the kitchen. Curious, she tiptoed across the creaky floor to find her mother holding an old lantern that glowed without any oil or fire. "Mom, what are you doing?" Isabella whispered, her voice tinged with fear. Her mother didn't answer immediately but gazed at the lantern with a serene smile. "This is the midnight lantern, my child. It reveals the unseen and guides us to do what's right," she said cryptically before blowing it out, leaving Isabella with more questions than answers. The next morning, the village buzzed with worry. Crops were failing, livestock was vanishing, and an unsettling darkness lingered. The village elder called for a meeting, urging everyone to stay cautious. Isabella's mother volunteered to help, but others scoffed. "What can one woman do?" a man sneered. Isabella watched her mother quietly smile, as if she held a secret no one else knew. That night, Isabella decided to uncover the truth about the lantern. As her mother lit it again, Isabella followed her into the forest. The lantern's glow revealed hidden trails and strange symbols etched into trees. "Where are we going?" Isabella asked, shivering. Her mother replied, "To help those who need us most." They soon reached a clearing, where a frightened deer was caught in a hunter's trap. Isabella's mother held the lantern close, and its light grew brighter, melting the trap's metal as if it were wax. The deer limped away, but not before bowing its head in gratitude. Isabella was stunned. "Mom, how does it do that?" she asked. Her mother explained, "The lantern reveals what is hidden, pain, danger, or even kindness. But it only works if you use it for good." As they walked back home, Isabella noticed the lantern casting shadows of people who weren't there. "What are those?" she asked, trembling. Her mother explained that they were echoes of the past, reminders of those who needed help but were overlooked. Isabella began to see the lantern as more than just a tool. It was a responsibility. "Will I ever use it?" she asked. Her mother smiled and said, "When you're ready, it will choose you." The next day, the villagers discovered their well had dried up. Without water, their survival was at stake. Panic spread, and arguments broke out about what to do next. Isabella's mother remained calm. She offered to consult the lantern, but the villagers dismissed her as foolish. "A lantern can't solve our problems," they said, laughing. Undeterred, Isabella's mother lit the lantern that night and walked toward the well. Isabella followed, clutching her mother's hand tightly. As the lantern glowed, a hidden path appeared, leading them deep into the forest. After hours of searching, they found an underground spring. Using the lantern's light, they marked the way back to guide the villagers. Isabella realized how powerful the lantern was when used selflessly. The next evening, Isabella noticed her mother seemed tired. "Tonight, it's your turn," her mother said, handing her the lantern. "I sense someone in need." Isabella hesitated, feeling unprepared. Holding the lantern nervously, Isabella ventured out alone. Its warm light gave her courage as she followed its glow into the darkness. Every step felt heavier than the last. The lantern led Isabella to a crying boy, lost and shivering in the forest. "Don't worry, I'll get you home," she said, holding his hand. The lantern revealed the safest path back to the village, avoiding treacherous cliffs and wild animals. By the time they reached the boy's family, Isabella's heart swelled with pride. "The lantern trusted you," her mother said when she returned. "You've proven yourself worthy." The villagers began to notice the strange glow from the forest and Isabella's mother's nightly ventures. When they saw the rescued boy and learned of the spring, their skepticism turned into admiration. "I didn't know she was so brave," one villager whispered. Another added, "Maybe we should listen to her more." Isabella felt proud but knew the lantern's power came from compassion, not pride. One night, the lantern flickered strangely, its light dim and erratic. "Something is coming," Isabella's mother said gravely. The villagers reported strange sounds and missing animals again. "Stay home tonight," her mother warned, but Isabella refused. "I want to help," she insisted. Reluctantly, her mother agreed, and they set out together. The lantern led them to the edge of the village, where a massive shadow loomed, a beast born of fear and neglect. It fed on the villagers' selfishness and discord. The beast roared, but the lantern's light weakened it. Isabella and her mother stood firm, urging the villagers to come together and face their fears instead of running. The villagers, inspired by Isabella and her mother's bravery, joined hands and approached the beast. Their unity strengthened the lantern's light, which grew so bright it dissolved the shadow entirely. For the first time in years, the village felt peace. Isabella realized the lantern's true power wasn't magic, it was the goodness it brought out in people. Weeks later, Isabella's mother handed the lantern to her. "You've earned it," she said. "Use it wisely, and never let its light dim in your heart." Isabella accepted it with a solemn promise to continue her mother's work. As Isabella lit the lantern that night, she felt a surge of confidence. It was no longer just her mother's lantern, it was hers to carry forward. Years later, Isabella became the village's protector, guiding others with the lantern's light. Her mother, now older, watched with pride as Isabella helped build a stronger, kinder community. The villagers no longer needed the lantern's magic, they had learned to rely on each other. But Isabella kept it burning, a reminder that light can always overcome darkness. Moral of the story: true strength comes from kindness and unity. Just like the lantern's light, our actions can illuminate paths for others, but only when guided by compassion and selflessness.